Good morning, or I should say good afternoon to our Brampton business community, and welcome to the Brampton Board of Trade's Expert Series. Today is an interview with the CEO of Telcoware, Murtaza Kambadi, and our conversation is about the latest trends in online engagement. This is part of a series of interviews that we've started in March in response to COVID to help our business community learn some specific strategies, not only to get through the pandemic, but to thrive at the other end. You can view sessions like this, the previous sessions, at bramptonbot.com/expert series, sessions on scenario planning, on cash flow management, on HR regulations, anything that helps you to succeed. And today we're going to be talking about revenue and engagement with your customer in a virtual way. What are the top trends in website engagement, in online engagement? Murtaza, so looking forward to today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Murtaza is a member of the Brampton Board of Trade. He started Telcoware about 5 years ago. He has 20 years experience in IT as a development team lead. Telcoware is helping businesses to promote products and services via website design, digital marketing, graphic design, software development, and mobile app development services as well. You can learn more about Telcoware at www.telcoware.com. That's TELKOWARE.com. Wow, wonderful. So, Murtaza, my first question, when designing my website as a business website, I've seen chat features, and I'm just wondering, do I need a live chat feature now, and what are the benefits?
Sure. So live chat feature is a very common trend that's been getting promoted day by day. It really depends on the kind of products and services that you're selling on your website to gauge whether you need that feature or not, right? If you've got hundreds of products with different variations or varieties, and if you're trying to figure out if a customer goes on your website, is trying to figure out that whether do I need to buy this product or service, or will this actually fit, or is this the right size? Will this be the right color? If they have any of those questions, it's easier to have somebody live on chat with you to answer those questions, right? And having somebody right there and then to answer those questions can actually mean a customer making that sale or moving to the next website, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So let me just give an example here. Let me just quickly present my screen.
Sure.
So what happens when a live chat feature is installed? So when you've got a live chat feature added to your website,
Yeah.
then your support person will see this kind of a dashboard. So they're
Ah,
able to log in into app.purechat.com, for example, and then they're able to see all the incoming chats. So here you see the incoming chats is currently set to none, but if
it's a
there are
wonderful
any.
dashboard. Yeah.
Exactly. So based on this dashboard, you can easily see that, okay, these are the team members who are available to respond to any queries that come via chat,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is where a lot of businesses ask that, okay, do I need a full-time support person just to provide this feature, right? The cool thing about this feature is that, it has got two different platforms to support. So it has a web platform through which, which you're seeing at the moment, but it also has a mobile app, right? So you don't need a full-time resource who can actually is sitting by his computer and responding to all the queries. Here, I've just opened a mobile app on my screen on my cell phone, and as you can see here, through this mobile app, I can easily respond to all the chats that are coming in, even though I'm not sitting in front of my computer. So even if I'm outside, at a customer's premises, a site, or shopping, doing groceries, I can still respond to any queries that come my way.
Wow, that is a really robust dashboard you have there with
Yeah.
easy, quick links to past conversations you may have had with that customer. Wow, and you can get code snippets, the whole works. Wow, that's fantastic.
Exactly. And the best part is that you can actually manage all the past conversations that you had. So let's suppose if you want to send a chat over via email to a potential customer or a client on details, specifications, product details, you can just copy paste the chat from here, and you can download it and send it to the customer.
Wow, that's fantastic. And your point about it being mobile, having a mobile app as well, allows your people to serve customers perhaps in person, and it converges with customers that may be online as well. So that's fantastic, Murtaza. I can see how that is a very valuable trend that a lot of customers would be interesting and a really important addition to a website, certainly in COVID times when there are some varying restrictions on in-person meetings. So
Yes, definitely.
engaging with a specific customer on a specific issue, this is certainly helpful, the chat bot. Lots of conversations happen about our company, though, on social media. And I'm wondering, should companies now have social media feeds to monitor that? What are the pros and cons of having a social media feed on our website?
Definitely. So social media is a big platform for you to promote your website, right? If you have got an active presence, if you got a lot of followers, it's good to have some form of a regular post that is being sent out to all your followers, right? And at the same time, in order to use that following to bring more traffic to your website, you can have your social media feed integrated into your website. For example, just to give an example here, this is a grocery store. So what we have done here is we have integrated their social media feeds into their website. So they've got an Instagram feed. So anything that is posted on their Instagram automatically pops up here. So they don't have to do physically or manually take any steps in order to show those latest posts from their Instagram feed to here. So let's suppose if you're running a special campaign or a promotion or an event, it's not a matter of actually now going back to your website, making those updates and highlighting that. You can just put it on your social media feed and boom, it pops up on your website.
One time, yeah, that is a tremendous time savings and adds to the conversation with clients, adds to your profile as well. So yeah, a great enhancement
And here
for
we've
any
got
website.
here
Yeah.
we've got an example of an Instagram feed, and below you've got an example of a Facebook feed.
Ah, right. Yes. Oh, very good. Yeah, very, very good. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Now, I know when businesses are looking at making enhancements to online engagement to their website, they always are concerned about return on investment. And what are some of the trends happening in website analytics? What's the best platform for analyzing if my website is worth the investment that I've made in it?
Definitely, and you've brought a very good point. Website is a big investment, not just from getting it set up, but also maintaining it, making sure that you're getting good traffic towards it, right? The best platform to do analytics is Google itself, because any analytics you're doing, you're actually gauging, are you getting enough traffic, not just from Google, but also from other platforms. And Google Analytics is the most powerful tool or a platform out there, right?
Mhm.
So let me show a couple of examples here. So here I've opened up an example for Google Analytics, right? So just from the dashboard, you can see, okay, how many users have visited your website in the past 7 days, and you can change the duration as well, right? Apart from the users, number of sessions, so what your bounce rate looks like, how long did the user stay for, right? What was the source of medium? Did they directly search on Google and did they found it? So that's organic search. Did they just type in your website URL directly and landed on your website? So that's correct. Referrals, did they came from any other websites who had a link to your website? You're right. So it tells you what is exactly the source of traffic that you're getting to your website, right? It just gives you how many active users, when did they visit, from which country or from which location did they visit, what time did they visit, were they using a desktop or a mobile device to access your website, and when they visited, which page on your website, because you may have multiple pages in a blog, which specific pages did they visit, right? So
Mhm.
that kind of information really helps you, that is whatever you're investing in your website is actually worth investing more, right? Apart from Google Analytics, the other powerful tool, which is again a Google's platform, is Google Search Console. So let me
Oh.
just show you that as well.
Mhm.
Here, if we talk about let me just. So this is Google Search Console. It actually shows you the trend that, okay, if you're getting a lot of websites through organic searches, right, a lot of traffic, What are the total number of clicks that people are clicking on your website and on your link and going to your website? What is the total number of impressions that you're getting, right? What is the average click-through rate? What is the average position when you're how you rank in Google among all your competitors, right? So if you're focused on search engine optimization and trying to improve your ranking so that you get more traffic from Google, then Search Console actually has a very strong analytics and stats to gauge the performance of your website and also provide some recommendations for improvement.
Mm-hmm. And when you're looking at both Google Analytics and Google Search Console, is there anything else that like what would be the top three things to look for if I wanted to get a feel for my analytics working for me?
So there are two most important aspects. One is audience, like who is actually coming on the website, and the second part is how. So how are they getting to your website? Once those two pieces are figured out, right, it will be really easy for you to not just measure your website's performance, but also improve it, right? And analytics does a tremendous job of doing that, right? They actually go into the audience. So if you go into audience, I click on active users, I can actually see that, okay, based on this, how many active users are currently on my website? What is the overall trend? Are the users increasing or decreasing? If they're decreasing, what could be the potential reasons? And if it's increasing, what are the campaigns that I'm running that's actually driving the traffic towards the website, right? And that's where the acquisition piece comes in. So how are you acquiring that traffic, right? And that gives you the overall stats that, okay, are you getting results through organic search, direct search, referrals, and that kind of stuff, right? So these two pieces, the audience piece as well as the acquisition piece, really gives you that information that you need.
Mm-hmm. And Google Analytics and Google Console, Google Search Console, are there free versions and then upgrades, or how much does it cost for a decent analytics package?
So this is a completely free tool provided by Google. So there is literally zero cost in order to set it up. You just set up your website, you configure it, and the stats will start over a period of time, will gradually start populating. You can keep track of it on a regular basis. There are a lot of the reporting functionality is also really strong, so you can report to see the overall trend over a week, months, or year to see how your website is progressing and take those necessary actions to improve upon it.
And what would you recommend a good frequency for checking analytics?
For the websites that we usually manage, we check it on at least a weekly basis to see if what the trend looks like. And then we look at it from a monthly perspective to see has the overall trend been increasing or decreasing, right? Then we try to figure out, okay, what are the possible reasons that could be causing this trend, and then take necessary actions.
Good. And dependent on whether or not you have a campaign ongoing or active as well, you might want to either check more frequently or check after a couple of weeks to see what the results might be of that campaign. Well, that's wonderful.
Exactly.
It has the flexibility to do that. That's great.
And there are a lot of other tools out there that actually do analytics. By far, I've noticed that Google is the strongest one, and it's completely free, while other softwares or tools out there are paid, right? So it's a free tool. It gives you a lot of valuable information that you can use, and everybody should learn and try to make the best use of it.
Very good, very good. And when you say use it and learn it, Google's usually pretty good with videos in terms of orientations for their analytics products as well, right?
Definitely, and it's very intuitive. Like you just if you just browse around, you will figure out a lot of the pieces. It's there isn't much rocket science to it. And if you need further details, if you need to go in, dive deeper into specific features, then there are very helpful guides available. There are YouTube videos available. So there's no shortage of information that you can learn about it, right?
Wow, this is fun. We've learned so much in just the first half of our session here today. We've learned about Chatbot, chatbots and their mobile applications as well to help us respond to customers with quality responses and quickly. We've talked about integrating social media feeds on our website, be it Instagram or Facebook or other platforms. Analytics, thanks for showing us both Google Analytics and the Search Console. That gives us lots of information about how our campaigns are doing, where our customers are coming from, and any tweaks that we might need to make to our landing pages to keep customers engaged for a longer time. I know that a lot of customers are also concerned about getting hacked, also concerned about their website, being vulnerable to cyber attacks. What can you tell us about website encryption? I hear SSL is some of the lingo. What does my website already have it, or why do I need it? What can you tell us about that?
So definitely, security is a number one top priority for all businesses, right? You want to make sure that any data that you have on your website, either your own, business data or your customers' confidential data, should be very well protected, right? The best way to do that is to use SSL, which is a secure socket layer. What basically that means is that any packets or any information that is sent over the internet, it's all encrypted. So if anybody even is able to capture that information, it's all garbled or garbage for them, and they're not able to decipher what it actually means. And only the source as well as the recipient are able to communicate information effectively. Right.
Very good.
And to your other question that, okay, how do I know if I have that or not? Let me show you an example. It's very easy to find out whether you have SSL on your website or not. So
right.
If
is it
you
purchasing a SSL certificate? Is that what it is?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So once
Okay.
you purchase an SSL certificate and you install it on your website, you'll notice that you'll see a small block sign here beside your URL, so you know that your website is encrypted.
Very
And
good.
when you will notice that your URL will actually switch from http:// to https://.
And the S stands for secure, perhaps?
Security, exactly.
Right. Very good. So do I just go online and buy an SSL certificate, or would I reach out to you to do it on behalf of?
Yes, definitely. You can reach out to us. We'll be happy to install an SSL certificate for you. And then once the SSL certificate is installed, you will notice that from this example, where your website says not secure, it will actually move to this lock sign, which will tell you that now your website is secure, right? So you can easily tell the difference between an unsecured and a secured website. And even not just from your own website, but even when you are going online for any online purchases, right? Especially due to COVID, there is a strong trend of, instead of going physically to a store, just purchasing online, having it delivered to your doorstep. And while you make that purchase online, you provide your credit card information, you provide your personal information, right? Any website that you put your private confidential information in, please make sure that you see that log sign, you see that it has SSL, right? Because if you're putting your private information in an unsecured website, means that there is a potential for that information to be leaked or hacked, and then that could cause trouble down the road
and impact your business's reputation as well. You
Definitely.
mentioned a couple of trends, but maybe my next question, maybe my last question, what have you found now during COVID? We're about 6 months into this pandemic. We may see as much as 6 months or more of it. What are the most interesting or some of the current website trends that you're seeing, and has that changed with COVID?
So mainly there have been 4 major trends that we have seen for the whole online world, especially with website design and all the kind of stuff, for the past few years, right? One of them is mobile responsiveness, so that your website is automatically able to adjust itself based on the size of the screen, whether it's a mobile device, whether it's a laptop, whether it's a tablet. Depending on that, it can easily adjust itself. So that's mobile responsiveness, right? Number 2 is that your website should be SEO friendly. That means your website should have all the necessary elements for Google to read your website and use that information in order to put you in its Google search engine. And based on that, it will then run algorithms based on the information that it has captured from your website, and then it will actually improve your ranking accordingly. Right. Third piece is privacy. So having all the information, protected for your customers, and having disclaimer statements and clearly stating that the information that you're capturing will not be used for any other purposes or will not be sold to a third party. It's important to give that level of confidence, that surety to your customers about the privacy of their data, the information that they are providing to you on their website. Right.
Yeah.
And the fourth element that we touched on was the security piece, right?
Yeah.
That we touched on about the privacy and the encryption of the website data. So those four elements have still been the same throughout COVID and even before COVID, right? But the overall trend that has changed due to COVID is just the way the businesses have adapted and changed their strategies and how to run their businesses online, right? A couple of examples that I can give is how they're looking for more avenues that, okay, if their store is closed, how can they generate revenue online, right? There are a couple of examples that I've noticed is that there is a massage therapist. Since they were closed down, they started offering self-massage tutorials and videos online on their website. And they had a subscription policy. So, you subscribe to their service, you pay a monthly fee, and you get access to all this valuable material, and you can actually have that level of information available to you. I've seen examples with a yoga instructor as well. So they started conducting online classes instead of physically in-person classes. So, a lot of businesses have been very creative during this COVID-19 pandemic, and they are looking for avenues to generate revenue online, and they have been very successful at it.
Those are two really good examples. One normally thinks that if you're offering a personal service, and the personal service industry certainly was experienced an overburden of revenue reduction as a result of the pandemic. So it's been a very uneven pandemic from a revenue impact point of view. But you gave two very good creative solutions there in terms of subscription services for both massage therapy and yoga. So wonderful. And those four trends again. You mentioned security. You mentioned privacy for customer data. You mentioned SEO friendly. And what was the first one you mentioned, Murtaza?
Responsiveness.
Yes, responsiveness, so that your the visual aspect of your website looks the way you want it to look in all different devices, be it a laptop, phone, or a tablet. Very, very important as well. The last thing that you want to do is distinguish your business in a negative way, where your customers are having to squeeze and poke at it just to read the message that you're and the products that you're trying to highlight. Wow, this has been really helpful, Murtaza. Is there any other thoughts or words of wisdom that you have for businesses when they're looking at developing or redeveloping their website for these uncertain times?
Yeah, one advice that I would like to give to all businesses out there is that, because obviously due to reduced revenue, less sales, people have been abandoning their marketing plans. My recommendation would be not abandon, but adjust their marketing strategies. I understand that these are, financially difficult times. And the first point that people see is to cut their marketing and advertising budgets, right? But instead, they should be thinking, how can I adjust my marketing strategy? Because that is the only way that you will be able to continue to sell and bring in more customers and bring in more revenue.
Yeah.
Right. So you can always look for creative ways. If you are focused more on traditional marketing methods like flyers, banners, maybe it's time to think to switch over to digital marketing, where you focus more on social media, search engine optimization, search engine marketing, or maybe content marketing. Maybe offering some form of incentives for the customers to buy online. So offer them free shipping or any limited time offer, promos or sales or offers or discounts of some sort. So look for those creative ways to adjust your marketing strategy, and that will help you get more customers, and that will bring in more sales for you.
Yeah, that's really good advice. The free shipping, ensuring that your website is responsive and easy to use. Things are there within just a click or two, SEO friendly. Your tips about marketing as well. You know, using Google ads, Facebook ads, etc. At least trying them. You can try them. It's a neat business model they have where you only pay for those customers that click onto it, and certainly, it is wonderful to have someone like you available through the Brampton Board of Trade membership to give advice and to help install some of the amazing things that we talked about here today. So, Murtaza, thank you so much for your advice, telling us more about chatbots, integrating social media feeds on our website, cybersecurity. We talked about Google Analytics and Google Search Console. We talked about new trends in terms of responsive websites on various devices, making sure that they're this is visually the way you want it to be, as well as SEO privacy of customer data, and cybersecurity to prevent against hacks. You also had some good advice about services, personal services in particular, and how revenue can be generated through subscription, through online video as well. So Murtaza, just some great advice today. Certainly power-packed expert interview. This interview can be viewed again by members of the Brampton Board of Trade by going to bramptonbot.com/expert series. I would love to tell you about some upcoming expert series and View from the Top events. We've got View from the Top, our series with top regional CEOs featuring Dr. Naveed Mohammed, the new president of the William Osler Health System. He is going to be speaking on October 7th. Check out our View from the Top page in the chat room here. It's at bramptonbot.com, View from the Top. And on October 20th, we are going to be celebrating excellence with 52 nominees in 12 different categories. Tune in to our virtual gala, our 2020 Virtual Business Excellence Awards. There's going to be a lot of fun involved. You can even get some food from six participating restaurants that have a takeaway for us, so you can sit in the comfort of your own home in front of your screen, your television, eat from local menus, and just enjoy and be inspired by the great businesses that are out there, including Telcoware. By all means, check out www.telcoware.com. That's TELKOWARE.com, and you'll find other helpful tips and examples from Murtaza. Murtaza, thank you so much for your time today. Anything else before we let people get back to work?
Well, thank you very much for having me. This was a very, very helpful session. I hope it was helpful for everybody else. If you're just looking for advice, some helpful tips and tricks, feel free to reach out to us. We would be happy to help. Just looking to support businesses during these challenging times.
Fantastic. And what's your email address, Murtaza?
It is murtaza@telcoware.com. So that's MURTAZA@telcoware.com.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you again real soon at our next expert series or Brampton Board of Trade event. Thanks, everyone. Take care now.
Thank you.